KKD is a younger brother to me. We all live in the UK together. Most of the people we see today in politics and who have become very kukuti, we all used to live in the UK together. I mean, I was a minister in the UK. So KKT like this will call me his pastor. And we have a very close relationship. A few of them. Of course, I can mention KKD because with him we do that. We have that party. And I said, KKD, you said a lot of powerful things. Things that some of us did not even know, or many people did not even know. But let everything we say be devoid of insult. And then I'm listening to other people also say things, and I think that it is below the belt. I can say that of KKD because we have a personal relationship. Yeah. And of course, this is not something he knows I will not say. I'm a Ghana person. In fact, I can punch more than most people can punch. But sometimes, as a matter of fact, we should. The only thing is that he said he has death threats and things, and I said, let's pray for him. And as he received some death threats that people want to harm him and that sort of thing. I told him that all we need to do is that as much as we have something to say, we should address issues. We should be decorum with our approach. And sometimes, if you look at most of the commentators, they have something to offer. I was listening to Captain Smart. Even Captain Smart, the last time I told him that, hey, the people love you, you don't hurt them. Because as much as everybody, and we are in a democratic community where people should have the right to speak their mind. People should have the right to criticize positively. I know sometime in Ghana, the moment you begin to say something against a particular system, you become an anti to the system. But yet still, we should say things devoid of insults. And when we do that, we create a decorum. I believe Sheikh and I are educated enough to come and fire up here. And we can say so many things. By the grace of God, the people in government today are our age group. Apart from a few older people who are older than us, people in the hem of affairs. Certainly, if we wanted to, I know myself and I know Sheikh over the years that we could have easily placed well. In fact, I don't think NDC and NPP would not be happy to have us on their board. Maybe we would have even done better.
So the culture of
insult, the culture of insult must stop. Right. Now, Kafu, the reason why it must stop is that we are not leaving a good legacy for the generation to come. And you know what? Please give me time to say this thing. Give me the next 2 minutes. If we do that, we undermine the credibility of the hard-won reputation of certain people. We might have, let's address issues. Let's take the issues. Emotions have no intellect. And if we don't take care of all the good things we have to say, by the time we end up, I know KKD was not here yesterday. I felt very sad. I felt very sad because I know maybe because of the conversations that went on before, everybody wants to be on guard. But we had a nice conversation. I said, KKD, you are saying some things. I mean, somebody should say something anyway. But the way we approach it, and it should be there. He said it was the emotion. I told him, like, KKD, the emotion have no intelligence. In any case, it's not his fault. He has not brought his tithe in a very long time as my church member. So God don't punish him. He should bring my tithe, and that will be okay. KKD has been my church member, you know, and I have church without war. So those of them who are my church members, they should be remembering to be bringing the tithe over. But we pray in the name of Jesus that God, every man, every woman, from those in America, those in Ghana, those in the UK, and those in other parts of the world who are commentators, will do their commentary devoid of insult, and that we will have a decent airwave. At the end of the day, we need to educate people and not to be violent.
Amen. Thank you so much. You're watching GTV Breakfast. WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. The noise must stop. And talking of noise, I flipped open to page 14 of today's Ghanaian Times, and there it is. League table, top of the Premier League, as far as noise. Greater Accra region, according to the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, received a total of 271 noise pollution complaints in 2021 alone. Out of the number, Greater Accra had 176 out of the 271 complaints, representing 61%. So 6 out of 10 noise-making complaints are coming from Greater Accra region. The other 15 regions shared the 95 complaints. So according to Mrs. Esi Nekwe Tete, who is the Acting Director, Laboratory Services and Environmental Quality at EPA, she says these complaints were received about churches, mosques, pubs, restaurants, event centers, lorry stations, block factories. I repeat, churches, mosques, pubs, restaurants, event centers, lorry stations, block factories. So we're talking noise pollution, noise that is incoherent, noise that is irregular, noise that produces an unpleasant sensation that is unwanted or interferes with the ability to hear. Let's hear now from the Chief Executive Officer of CRISPAT Hearing Center Ghana Limited, Reverend Dr. Christian Kwete Kwechu, who is an audiologist. Good morning and welcome to GTV Breakfast. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm great. Good to have you here. First of all, what is an audiologist? What does an audiologist do?
That's a big word. An audiologist is a sound specialist or hearing specialist, and an audiologist do a lot of tests. We call them battery of tests to find out the hearing acuity of an individual and to diagnose the cause of hearing loss, and also balancing and recommend remediation. We work closely with ear, nose, and throat doctors. Okay?
Excellent.
An effective ENT doctor must work closely with an audiologist.
Fantastic.
To be able to diagnose a lot of ear and hearing problems.
Fantastic. How serious are hearing problems in Ghana?
Wow. I want to say that, in fact, in recent times, researches are being done to find out the effect, the seriousness of impact on the citizens. And what we are having so far doesn't paint a good picture at all. That many people, and this across all ages, are getting hearing impairment as a result of noise in particular. There are other causes of impairment, hearing impairment, but noise is creating is one of the major causes of hearing impairment around the country. And it's becoming serious these days because you see even a small child or a young child of about 15, 16 years who has got moderate to profound hearing loss. Yes. So noise, now when we say noise, what is noise? Noise is any unwanted sound that causes nuisance. In fact, any sound that has an unpleasant effect on the individual, causing discomfort, is noise. My brother, do you understand that?
I understand it very clearly.
Yeah.
What is the impact of this noise pollution on the people of the citizens of this country, judging from the people who come to your practice? What's the impact?
Good. Noise has different levels. Okay, when we measure it by decibels, and it has different levels. If you have long-term exposure to noise, there are a variety of things that can cost you, especially the health. And health aspect, we can talk about sleep disturbances. There are a lot of people who cannot sleep very well because of noise in their environment. We can also talk about cardiovascular, and metabolic system problems.
Your heart can be affected by noise pollution?
Yeah, that's one thing that people must know. If you are exposed to a long-term noise, your blood pressure increases. Your heart movement also increases. You can get high blood pressure from noise.
Wow.
In fact, noise can cause annoyance. And when you are annoyed, look at how your system works. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you can also have stress. You know, when you're in a noisy environment, you can have stress. You know, you are stressed up, emotionally disturbed. That's what noise can do. And above all, noise can cause hearing loss. Mild, moderate, severe hearing loss.
Are you getting to see younger people getting hearing loss these days?
A lot of them.
How young?
A lot. From age 12 upwards. From age 12, age 13, you will see that, you know, these days, many of these our young guys are exposed to noise from their cells. This, what they call
people walking around with earpieces in their ears. Yeah.
Very good. And you know that then is supposed to let an individual enjoy sound at a certain level. But they increase the volumes. You understand? They increase the volumes to intolerable levels. And they don't know that they are causing harm to their hair cells, what you call the inner hair cells. They're damaging them gradually. So with time, they lose their hearing.
Dr. Kwechu,
talking to them, they want you to shout.
To shout.
They want you to repeat
okay.
the statement and all that.
Maybe that's why people are shouting a lot, even when they have microphones. They're shouting because they themselves are hard of hearing or deaf, and they need to shout louder to get their message across. What kind of advice can you give to people to protect themselves from noise and environmental pollution?
One, I would advise anyone to avoid noise. In fact, the ear is such that when you are in a noisy environment and it doesn't like the sound around you, it will warn you. And the warning it gives is pain. You feel a severe pain, it's telling you, avoid this environment, I don't like it.
But Dr. Kwechu, that's easy to say. If you live by a block factory, you're in trouble.
That is the point.
If you live by an event center, you are in trouble.
Yes, and that is why our law regulators must also be up and doing, okay? But if you cannot avoid it, if you cannot stop them, for example, if you're in a home, make sure that you shut your windows from the noise. You can improve by using a woolen carpet. Anything that can absorb sound from the outside is advisable. You can also put off appliances, home appliances that you are not using, like washing machines and all that. If you are doing that, get a place where, in fact, you can use sound absorbable objects so that you don't have noise disturbing you. You can use earplugs. And earplugs, you have different types. And you must go to the audiologist so that you prescribe one for you, because we have what we call noise to ratio attenuation levels.
Right. So 60% of all the noise pollution complaints received by the EPA came from Greater Accra alone. How do we make Accra less noisy?
Because of the population and because of the activities in Accra. Can you imagine the number of trotros that are flying on roads? Can you imagine the music shops that we have in our markets?
Music shops.
Can you imagine our young preachers, blurring the sound of music and preaching in our environment? So all this amalgamated gives some level of noise level, and it is injurious to the hearing, to the human ear. So of course, if you are walking in a place like Makola, you just imagine the noise levels. So that when somebody is even conversing with you, you have to raise your voice for the person to hear you.
You have people shouting, "Ago, ago, ago!" You know, it can be really scary. Yeah.
And my brother, recently I'm just coming from Cape Town. My brother, there are no people in the town. Absolute peace. You understand? You don't even hear cars hooting, blowing their
horns.
How do you call it? Horns.
Right.
But yeah, we are in our environment. The truck was beep, 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 and all those can cause a lot of noise pollution.
What's your number one recommendation? What's your number one recommendation before I let you leave on how to get noise levels down for our own sanity?
First thing is that the law regulators must ensure that people minimize noise creation in the environment. Okay? When you go to the market areas, those who play music, I don't know whom they are playing the music to, they should reduce their levels. Okay? Because if you are playing your music, it's not everybody who wants to enjoy your music. So lower the levels. And in your homes, let your television and radio volumes come down.
All right.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to have what you call a temporary shift of hearing, and then you have a permanent shift of hearing. And then you come to me for a hearing aid, which I tell you is not cheap. It's very expensive.
Thank you so much. Reverend Dr. Christian Kwechu, who is an audiologist, is the CEO of CRISPAT Hearing Center, has been telling us the consequences of keeping our environment very loud, what it will do to us, what it does to... I'm sure there's even going to be economic impacts. I'm sure the Reverend can tell me about that. But I want to know, where is the quietest part of Ghana that you've been to? The quietest part of Ghana, apart from the cemetery. Don't tell me cemeteries, okay? But I want to know the quietest town in Ghana, all right? So we may all just move there. And if we all move there, then the place becomes loud like Accra. But I want to know the quietest part of this country. 055-556-1034. And I want to know your experience with noise. How do you deal with noisy environments? Do you go out there and confront the people? I've had occasion to threaten people early in the morning that I'm from EPA. I want to see their license for disturbing me at 4:30. And they look at me and say, license? I say, yeah, license. Why are you disturbing me in the morning? Yeah, but it's a serious thing, Reverend. And we need to fix it. I'm sure you go to other countries and it's far quieter.
I'm privileged to hold a British driving license. And one of the conditions is that you don't honk your horn after 6 p.m. It is an offense.
It's an offense.
It is an offense.
To honk after 6.
To honk after 6.
So if somebody is crossing and I want to let the person know, what do I do?
That is why you have to have one when it's an emergency. Now what we do here, taxi drivers using their horn to play music.
Yes.
When my wife and the family comes here, sometimes they wonder how we can do that and get away with it. There's no beep, 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 noise. Besides that, people also don't realize that even this earpiece we use, there's a reason why we use a earpiece. Those of us who travel a lot on air, yourself, myself, and Sheikh, we cannot put our loud system out to disturb others. And that is why we use a earpiece, so we can hear the sound, the rubbish, the goggles, the garbage, whatever it is, how much of a nuisance it is. Because it's not all the languages that you even hear that make sense to you. And so we don't know that. But we should also lose sight of the fact that in the community we live in, it's cosmopolitan. And once it becomes cosmopolitan, you have a Hindu there, you have a Muslim there, you have a Christian there, you have an atheist there, you have a traditionalist there. And so we need to get a proper regulatory body.
But in London it is the same, even more cosmopolitan.
That's what I'm saying, that it's the regulations. I mean, a lot of things we get away with when we come here. In the UK, you cannot get away with it. You are charged. Somebody will report you. Some old lady will report you. And so it puts a check on us. If we can check ourselves and put ourselves on check, then these things can be kept. Because whether we like it or not, noise pollution can also bring sickness.
Yeah, he said it. Heart problems.
In fact,
stress.
not just heart problem, it brings stress and pressure. And a lot of people who have had brain hemorrhage as a result of noise. People have had sleepless nights, and then they begin to get strong migraine, and that can destroy them. I remember many years ago, I wrote a book by the title, The Dangers of Offense. And I realized that when people become so noisy, they can offend you. You know, people laugh, and they laugh foolishly, and you are not excited in that laugh. And by the time you realize, people have even had heart attack.
Yes.
Like you mentioned. Serious heart attack because of sudden noise. And let me also say this, that a lot of people should not take advantage to undermine the credibility of the mosque and the church. There are some people, because of their paganism and anti-respect, lack of respect for the church of the mosque, they will complain that it's only the noise, it's only the church and the mosque that makes noise. But let me tell you this, people make noise in a disco more than we do. People make noise in the markets more than we do.
Centers.
Like Radis said, the drivers, the trotro drivers and taxi drivers make more noise than we do. And so, yes, as much as we will try to curb the noise a little And the truth is that a lot of people get excited about something. I've been to churches where I've told them to tone it down. Tone it down, because the noise is not where the number of people you see there.
Yeah, even use your microphone.
Yes, you use your microphone. And so we regulate it. That's why some of us now, we go with our own microphones.
That's all.
And we make sure that we have, there's a cap I put on. Don't forget that in my case, virtually every day I preach.
Yeah.
And so if I don't control the noise, I have no voice to speak to my own family, let alone extended body. So let us all be able to abide by the rules so that we can have a decent thing. But don't forget that whether we like it or not, the statistics will always be right. Yeah. Accra will be more noisier than Tamale, than Bolga, than Volta region, than Cape Coast, because we have a variety of people.
Indeed. All right, Sheikh. Does the noise disturb you?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does.
You look like a very reflective man who likes quiet and solitude.
When any sound that is characterized by cacophony, that's one. Two, beyond the decibel accommodatable by this thing that God has given us. My little health science tells me about the mechanism, the auditory system, from the earlobe up to the tympanic membrane. And there's the level at which the tympanic membrane functions and gives you sound to take it back into the cochlea, and then goes so that the brain can bring out the sound for you to hear. When it destroyed, because of the cacophonous sound, or beyond the decibel that it can be accommodated, then it becomes injurious. That is why in everything, moderation is. Look, I like making reference to our traditional wisdom. I don't know how the Airways and the Gas say it, but I'm saying in Ekwapim, in Twi, Fanti, even this word we call peace, Asum, Twi.
Twain Jole.
Literally means what?
Twain Jole. Twain Jole means peace of mind, peace of ear.
So they use the ear.
Yes. It's Tome Fafa.
Peace of ear.
So the coldness of the inside of your ear.
The ear.
Tome Fafa. Coldness of the inside of your ear. That's peace.
Asumdwe.
Tome Fafa.
Asumdwe. You see, so it is part of what God has made. That's why God made this world, this whole creation, in a certain balance. Take away balance of the world and the universe, and you see what will happen to us. And so we must learn. So I went to London myself. I preached, I gave sermon in a mosque. But in London, in the church and in the mosque, the sound is controlled. So the one who is outside the church or the mosque will never hear. Will not hear. So we should, as we even practice our religion, because most of the time when this issue comes up, the church and the mosque, are culprits. And I will be very, very honest with myself and to criticize my own community. For example, in Ramadan, we have a certain night vigil we keep. You see, night vigils are things between you and your God. You commune with him. And yet you see two mosques flanking a street. And both of them have powerful speakers. In an environment where we share with non-Muslims, it's an abuse of their right. It's an abuse of the right of the non-Muslims in that environment. They are not Muslims.
And I'm first to confess before you even continue, we do same.
They need to sleep. They need to sleep. But we share the same environment. You see, so when you do this thing, you must keep the principle of respect for the neighbor. Christianity tells us, Islam tells us, love thy neighbor as thyself. And the Prophet told us, if you believe in Allah and the last day, do not, I underscore that one, do not hate, do not harm your neighbor. So if you live in an environment, keep it at a decibel. You see, Sound, when it is harmonious, that's why we have the keys, is pleasing to the ear. And when it's kept at a decibel that helps reflection. So when I read the Quran, I recite it melodiously because it helps me in my reflection of the words. So is the hymn of the Christian. This reminds me of some of those things I have forgotten them, the canticles.
Yes.
You know,
Canticles, yes.
Yes.
So let's keep it melodious.
Melodious, and then at the balance level. And even our young people, sometimes they do not know. They become the fantasy to want to get excited. You see these powerful speakers mounted, and a young man wants to go close to it, and he's in a frenzy.
And they even say, make some noise for Sheikh and Reverend.
And he doesn't know that because he's young today, that is injurious to his auditory system, and he is growing.
He needs the ears for old age.
He needs the ears for old age. He doesn't know. That's why in factories, the factories that care for their workers, and I'm underscoring this, factories that care, because the care for your workers is a human issue. That's why you provide for them a device.
Headphones.
That reduce, so that you don't injure them. You make the profit, and then you make them suffer this permanent deficiency of their ear. So please, as a country, we all, especially in our religion, we want to give expression to our religion. But as we do that, let us not harm and hurt those who are shared with us the same environment.
Okay.
I'm looking, if you know any block factory where the workers at the block factories wear headphones, please alert me. Because I have not seen any block factory, and you know how the block factories operate. It's like the heavens are descending. I haven't seen any of them wear headphones before. So the factories where they have all this noise, you know, the musicians, I went to a Thanksgiving, and the musicians were banging the drum. The drummer was banging the drum as if he was trying to exorcise some spirit from the drum. He was smashing the drum with all his frustration. I'm thinking, brother, we're only a few people here. Keep it down, keep it down. And then I'm thinking probably he has hearing problems. We have serious problems.
It's also understanding of our environment and what we do.
Yeah.
I keep referring to Europe because, of course, I left Ghana when I was about 22 years. So I've stayed longer in Europe than I've stayed in Ghana. And I remember my first time in the university, we went to the prayer meeting, and my Caucasian brothers were praying like this, and I thought, well, this is not what I wanted. It must be audacious. There must be some movement. Provoke God. It must be audacious. But when they finished and they started speaking, I realized, oh, wow, they knew what they were about. Then I realized that different settings, different cultures. You'll be surprised. A lot of people don't even understand why we do all night here today. All night has no spirituality. The reason why all night started was the early days of charismatism. Pastor Mensa Otabil was using Bedin Power Hall. They rented it. Isaac Kwe was using Social Advance Hall. Almost everybody, including actually, were renting halls and things. You don't have a place to have a space to be able to do church service. The only place you can do it is a school church building after they've closed, and it's only during a Friday night that you have availability. If you are fortunate to have a church, a Methodist church, Presbyterian church, Anglican church building to use, the only time you can use it is in the Friday evening, and that is how all nights began. People think that all night is spirituality. In fact, the witches in the day are dangerous than the witches in the night. So today, you realize that a lot of people are not, and I'm not killing your spiritism, but sometimes it's just a religion people do. They think it is only in the all night. Trust me, I have stopped all night. Because when you go to the all night, in the morning, I cannot go to the weddings, I cannot go to the funerals, I cannot do it. You'll be surprised, you'll be in your clerical collar, and you are seated and you are dozing. And people are noting to you, you look so irresponsible because you've come from an all night. And Saturdays is when you do this. So there are a lot of things that we need to just get the mindset to change so we understand the reason why we do certain things. So today, if you truly have your own church building, then nothing prevents you from having a late evening program, close late at least, and go home instead of the all night. And then also, I'm the first to admit, like Sheikh did, that sometimes we become a nuisance in a community. If your church is in a close community and you're having an all night and you are binding the people. Recently, I was told a particular church was binding the devil, metia bunsan, bang, bang, bang. And the drunkard was next door. He got upset, so he put on some dark cloth and walked into the church. It was a scatter. Everybody was running away. Unfortunately, everybody was running away. The instrument, the pastor, everybody was running away. Unfortunately, there was this Bafine, the cripple there who was sitting there. They said,
Oh, I like that. Yeah, the ones who are stuff.
The people with the feet, so please, let's learn all. Let us all learn to keep our community.
I mean, moderation.
Moderation is the key.
Moderation. Let's keep our community. Let us not get, and trust me, it is not how loud we become that makes the spirit. It's how much of our heart is connected to God.
Awesome. So from the noise pollution of insults in the political space to the noise pollution in the environment, it's our theme this morning is noise on GTV Breakfast. We'd like to have your soft and quiet messages on 055 556 1034. We will take your messages very, very soon. But for now,
before you go, you know, when I was a child, you know, children, we make noise.
Yes.
Midday, around 12, when the home is quiet and maybe our parents are having a sleep. Look, when we drop something, at the time they are having their quiet, either we make a noise, we drop, or we bang on something. Look, they come to shout on us, just scolding us that, don't you see that we are resting? It means our noise was disturbing them. They needed a certain quiet.
To think about issues.
Your father is reflecting, he's quiet. So when he's quiet at the corner and you, as a child, you make noise, he shouts on you, saying, can you
keep it down?
You know, those are the things we must also push into the public domain.
Thank you.
That as we do, decency, responsibility, sense of appropriateness, these are the things that make us disciplined people.
Thank you. And especially since September is coming, and you know September for parents equals school fees. We need a lot of quiet. Because parents are thinking, you know, they are meditating, they are chanting down the cash to pay the school fees.
You are speaking to us.
No, I'm speaking,
you are speaking to all of us.
So let's keep it quiet. The parents need that meditative.
And even some of us, beyond our children, we are paying for other people.
Thank you very much.
That even worsens.
It's a multifaceted issue. So let's keep it quiet. I love the ban on noise making. That happens every year. A salute to all the traditional areas who have bans on noise making. It is so refreshing, so sweet. I wish the ban could happen the whole year. The whole year. So lovely. It's just soul inspiring. Yeah, let's keep it quiet. Let's make things happen. These are some of the headlines in the papers before I get the messages for you. Daily Graphic: decision on IMF cannot be blamed on government, says the president. Make prompt payment of royalties to mining communities, Chamber of Mines CEO. Corruption is a hindrance to development, says the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia. And show tax certificate to receive public service. Vice President announces measures from next year. Ghanaian Times is also going on the tax tip. GRA tax clearance certificate goes electronic. So we're going to have our e-clearance certificates. Yeah, man. Effective October. Police gunned down 3 suspected robbers. The police aren't playing these days, you know. Pharmacist house officers demand appointment letter and salaries. That's on page 4 of today's Ghanaian Times. And the Finder leads with museums and castles will lead tourism in the next 5 years. Executive Director pledges. COP Tiwa did not commit #1 prosecution, says the APC. And Ashanti enrolls over 109,000 for free SHS in 6 years. Messages on 055 556 1034. We are keeping an eye on Nima because the residents of that community are embarking on a demonstration, and our man Jay Gabra is on the ground. He will be giving us a report anytime soon. But let me just scoot over to the message board like Valerie says it, and then I'll read a couple of messages, and then we'll go to Nima, and then we'll get we'll get the messages. So yeah, so okay, so we've got our. I'm taking all my Japadia with me. All right, let's go. Okay, all righty. Okay, so messages, Abdul Razak. In fact, we live in a country where we care less about noise pollution. Noise pollution is the order of the day, especially in our cities. He said cuties, which I think is also not cities, towns, and villages. No one cares about the noisy nature and danger it poses to our human health and disturbance to others. We need to curb this noise pollution before it causes harm to people. Noise pollution must be checked. From Abdul Razak in one of my favorite parts of Ghana, Tamale, salam alaikum. All right. Reverend Tete, you made my day. Some commentators and journalists report on only the negatives and in language not too good for the ears. Let's learn to be balanced and criticize constructively. So yeah, so the insulting noise, we want it to just come down. All right, more messages coming in. Good morning. What are we discussing? We're discussing noise. Good morning, Bernard Anaglate from Telmagov City. If not for the sake of economic activities, I would have settled in Akosombo or Ho, which I know to be the most quiet places. I understand. Yes, Akosombo and Ho, very quiet. If there were a train service, I would also be living there and just coming by train to GTV breakfast early morning. Yeah. God has really blessed our country, Ghana. It's left with us. I agree 100%. Your name is Gottlieb. That's a strong German name. Gottlieb from Ablekuma. Please ask Sheikh whether there are rules governing the call for prayer, because a mosque at my area is just going overboard with their pay system. Sheikh spoke about it, and Reverend also spoke about the religious communities and sometimes the noise that they make. I know there are bylaws. So the local authorities need to just get serious and enforce those bylaws. The people living in and around Circle, New Plant, and Odona are likely to experience serious ear problems in the next 10 years. The noise from the station and pastors' PA systems are out of this world. It's extraterrestrial and noise. Our forefathers introduced ban on noise making, and we think they were not wise. At least in a year, we have a month to think calmly. Yes, I think the ban on noise making should come around August or September. The school feast time. We should shift it. Let's talk to our traditional authorities. The quietest town in Ghana is Latte. Kaf, you love it. I can believe that. Drive through Latte and it's quiet. Also contribute to the quietness. Yeah, the trees are whispering to us. Peace. To enjoy. Asumjwe. I'm Khan from Adabraka. There's a town in Sunyani called Yahwima. Is it Yahwima or Yahwima? The place is quieter than heaven. Have you been to heaven? You can go there and check. We'll go and check. All right. Kaf, Reverend Sheikh have been part of GTV Breakfast, not by chance. God chose them to be on the show for a purpose, and they have really satisfied the wish of God. They are indeed a blessing to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Kaf. I suggest Ghana should strictly demand for CDs in all foreign business transactions. Okay, right? You're talking CDs and dollars. Okay. Rev, I stand by your call that at all times avoid defamatory and foul language in all forms. Thank you so much. I'm pleading to our commentators to speak their minds devoid of insults. Most people are learning from them. We want peace. Okay, watching my favorite wisdom analysts, the Reverend and the Sheikh. All right. Okay, let's go. We're talking more messages. Wow. Good morning. The noise pollution is more with churches, and a happy Reverend himself is addressing. It's not just churches, because the event centers make a lot of noise. The people who are selling music, CDs, go to Tudu. Tudu is one of the loudest places in the world. In the world. Angoga Station, that is loud. It's really loud. So please, let's cut the churches some slack. All right? When you are traveling, you can't have peace of mind. These people enter the bus intentionally. They begin preaching before you realize they are selling medicine. Wow, what a switch. They went from preaching to a draw. They make a lot of noise. It's very bad. I'm talking from Kaneshi. Those who move around here, someone who can mount machines and is playing music unnecessarily, making noise. Let us continue to talk about this. It will help. Thank you so much. Good morning, Brother Kaf. Please, based on noise in our society going on, just the people open spots, drinking spots, huge loudspeaker, blasting, and you are hearing Senior, the quietest town I have visited in Ghana is called Ibrim Agona in the central region. But until I came to Accra, I had not heard Bolaka announcing their availability early in the morning. Yes, Bola, 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 Bola. Devilish noise at early in the morning, 5 a.m. when you're trying to catch up on your sleep. Bola, 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 Bola. Oh, come on, man, guys. Stop it. Okay. All right. Let's pause for a while. Let's go to a place where I am suspecting there may be noise because there's a demonstration happening. Today's show is sponsored by Noise. All right. Let's go to Nima. Jay Gabra is in the house. Jay, I predict and I prophesy that there's going to be noise or there's noise around where you are right now. Jay, come in. So we're trying to get through to Jay Gabra, who is at Nima. There's a demonstration that's going on there. And as soon as we connect with him, I'll let you know. They keep reading messages, and as soon as I get a signal, I'll get through to Jay. Are there laws in Ghana addressing noise pollution? There are. Check your bylaws. There are so many laws. So many laws. So it's just about enforcing. This program and show is very educative, must be decentralized, even in our educational and traditional settings. Thank you, Kafui. Thank you, GTV. Thanks to our team here. Everybody's making it happen to make sure that things go on very well. Let's talk about dawn broadcasting. Yeah, in those days, it was soldiers who did the dawn broadcast to announce that they have arrived and changed the government. I mean, it is one of the most inconsiderate things a human can do to his fellow human. In an era where people work at night and sleep in the day, you get back from work to get some rest, and someone thinks it's fun to come behind your window with a public address system to preach. Our religious leaders need to teach on this. Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, Kath. Please add a traditionalist to your panelists to make it perfect. Thanks, Godfather. I have origin. It's a good suggestion. I take it, 100%. Good morning. Some people play music from their homes as though they are advertising their home theaters for sale. It's so irritating, and it's even a security risk. Because if you are blasting music in your house, then the people who are moving around say, okay, well, there's a system there. Yeah. We can make a move. So be very careful. The quietest place is at the Dome. If not for jobs, what would I be doing in Accra? So we're looking for the quietest place in Ghana. Adidome is ranking, Ho is ranking, Latte is ranking, Abrim, Aguna, the Bola cars announcing Bola. Alhaji Hamza, good morning. I'm so proud for the wisdom your panelists are impacting in society. I salute them. This country is so proud of them. CAF, please try to be responding to your messages on your post, or we will stop following you. Alhaji Hamza is threatening me in a very beautiful way on national television. Alhaji, please say forgive me, Hausa.
Kamin Gafara.
Kamin Gafara, Alhaji. Kamin Gafara. Okay. I like the discussion on the respect for the elderly this morning. Thank you so much. King Kaf, I really love your interpretation in Ever. Yes, you like the, yeah, Tome Fafa is quite the coldness of the inside of your ear. That's peace.
Tueminjole.
Yes, that's it. And treat is the same, right?
Yeah.
And how do you say peace in Hausa?
Kwantia Hankali.
Literally, what does it mean?
Literally is the sleepness of the mind.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then when the mind is at sleep, it's sleeping.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's deeper than the word peace.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's try and see if we can get Jay Gabra now. He's in Nima. Well, he's not. He's still in Nima, but he's not there yet. Officials who check the noise making sit and want people to report before they act. And they go like this, the people around you are complaining. It's need to be some proactiveness.
Yeah.
You agree that the officials have to go, because you can actually see the people making the noise.
Yes.
Yeah, So we're still looking for nominations for the quietest town in Ghana.
The quietest town for campaign purposes is my hometown, Dodowa.
No, Dodowa is quiet.
Dodowa is quiet, and we have a waterfall in Dodowa. People don't know, the Cheku Forest. Yes,
oh, really?
It's right behind the Dodowa Forest. Remember, Dodowa is a very significant place. My great grandfather, the Nene soldier who led the war to capture British Togoland and things for Ghana, they discovered there. So right behind the Dodowa Forest is Cheku Falls. Beautiful scenery.
Oh, I need to go. Cheku.
Yeah, Cheku Falls. Cheku Waterfalls. I go there sometimes, walk serenely, and it's beautiful. It's like, if you want anywhere to stay in Ghana, that is the best place. It's Dodowa.
Okay. I think Nkrofo too is quiet. When we went there,
I'm not sure, but Dodowa is quieter.
One vote for Dodowa there. Let's go to Jay Gabra, who is in Nima. And he has a report for us on a demonstration that is building up. Jay, good morning. What's up?
Thank you so much, Kafi. Good morning and welcome. It's Keep an Eye live from Mambobi, where we're reporting about intended demonstration, which is residents intend to embark on this morning. They were given a 21-day ultimatum to vacate these premises we are here, and Mambobi started as a market and it turned into a sprawling neighborhood. And with the benefit of the eye in the sky, you'll notice that starting from the Mambobi Polyclinic, heading all the way towards the Nima Gata, this whole area has been planned for demolition. The exercise, the 21-day exercise, it's starting on the deadline is 8th to the 28th of August. So by Sunday, they are supposed to vacate these premises. So of course, the residents here haven't been given any plan as to where they'll be relocated to. So they are converging at the K13 Park on a demonstration. The police are standing by with them, and right now we are within the community to speak to a few people. Then we head to the park. The demonstration was supposed to start last week Wednesday, but the police said, citing security reasons, they will calm down. Once the organizers give them letters, then they will help them with security so they can embark on the demonstration. So this morning they've been meeting a lot of activities within the community, and they are converging at the park. But right now we are very close to this market, which has a new model for them. And so we are the Mambobi market, and we are going to speak to a few of the residents, and then they will tell us how they feel about this demonstration exercise that the municipality intends to embark on. So I just want to say we are in the Senya electoral area here in the Yaosu West Municipal Assembly. So, good morning, boss. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Please your name.
My name is Richard Tufo.
Master, good morning. Welcome. Please, how long have you been staying here?
I've been here for the past 45 years.
45 years. Is this your first time experiencing something
Yes,
like this?
yes, please.
So what do you have to say?
So what I want to appeal to the government to give us time, like maybe 3 years or not more than, maybe not less than 2 years, to find a place and move from here. If the government can give us a place to, we will appreciate it.
So at the moment, the government hasn't given you any relocation space?
Yes. No, nothing like that. And no money, nothing. They just ask us to leave within 21 days. And it cannot be possible for somebody living here for the past 45 years just to move, give him 21 days to move. It's not possible. Even in Accra here, if you want a room, it will take you more than 6 months before you get a room. Even according to the social welfare district, you have to give, if somebody is staying in your room, you have to give them time. You cannot just cancel and move. So we appeal to the government to give us time to prepare and move.
So if the assembly comes here on Sunday that they are enforcing the demolition exercise, what are you going to do?
I don't have any place to go. I will be here, maybe they will take their grader to dig a hole and put me inside. I don't have anywhere to go. Nowhere. I'm not attempting to move from anywhere. For the past 45 years I'm here. So where am I going? Even to get a room in Accra here, you cannot get, you can't find, take 5 months to get a room. It will be more than that. So we are appealing to the government to give us time before we move from here. Location to move.
Okay. And appealing to the government, I understand back in the day, the former president, the late President Rawlings was here to help you relocate to another area. What came of that exercise?
That was Nima, not here.
Not here.
I think it was Nima, but then I wasn't here.
Okay.
Here, they didn't give us any time to live here.
Okay.
It was Nima. They give them Medina to go, but they didn't go.
So
They give them land from Nima to move to what they call Medina, but not Mambobi here.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard. So I'd just like to speak to a former assembly member of the area. Sir, good morning and you're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Please, your name?
Michael Akume,
Okay, so this demolition exercise, is it not
first assemblyman for the area.
the first assemblyman for the area?
For the area.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to us. This demolition exercise, with the ultimatum the assembly has given to you, what do you think about it?
It's very, very disaster because Accra is very difficult to get a room. Though you know it's a government land, but at least if you're going to sack us, you must give us ample time to look or relocate. Even though you thought the government may relocate us, but we appeal, and nothing has become out of it. This is such as a mess, the panic attack. As I'm here, I'm supposed to be a demonstration, but my heart is beating. If I see the crowd, if I see the policemen, my heart is beating. I can't be with them. I can't be there.
So how many people are staying here presently?
Oh, presently we are more than 5,000. Yeah, we are more than 5,000.
All gathered in this area.
Yeah, about 5,000. You see, what happens is that what is paining me that to be a refugee in our own country. Ghana used to be a friendly country. We received refugees from Togo, Sechimaja, Agozuma, and then Dumbrura. But we the citizens, where are we going? I have no place to go. I started as a assemblyman with some people, but they say all the figures are not equal. I'm still here. I have nothing. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go.
Okay. So making your appeal to the municipal assembly, what will you say?
All we are saying that at least they should give us 2 well documented. But the end of the 2 years, we shall leave the place for them peacefully. Than to come and put me, as he said, if they come here now, there's no place where I can go. So maybe the grader will bury me. That's the one there will be no coffin. That one there will be no expenses. That was so ample time, at least 2 years. At least 2 years.
So I see one of the market women here in the area. Ma, Pacho, good morning.
Pacho, good morning.
Pacho, Efra, saying.
Me Pacho, Efra, me Mrs. Ade, Stella Afi Ade.
Okay, we shop wa hanum se won.
Pacho, hi. Me shop wa ha, me santi ha.
Okay, in fact, na what man will be ha.
Oh, me fear me ba Ade achakakra. Achakakra pa, ko be 20 something years ni.
Oh, okay. And it is a demolition exercise no se on be no. Udwen ho say.
Oh, I say ba so if say aha na ye betena ye no. Ya ntena ye pe. Aban no sabe wo mu say ye ne dia nso de maya city council for no agi yeska. Edan bia omoje ye 150 into timienu ma obetua 30 Ghana. Nti yenum say sabe e ya ba asase mum na so no yetua AMA e de ma wom. Nti no so osi wo tu yen a e se anka ma ye mre e bia mfie mienu na sabe ye ya ahoboa efi say enye yen kwa na otu yen odika tu obinum ama ye ma won sika ama won ba bia omatimi akoton ade ama omusu kotena ye nti edu yesusu wo otu ya sabe ye ni mpre ye sre ne pa na chaw say sabe o ma ye mre nkopo pese mfie mienu echi no na obia ya ahoboa obia nya ba bia obekọ efi say na mre ukọ han dan enye ize ebi wo 3 million 4 million ebi onya ahoboa bia ntu ho ye aha ye tin so ayarefo hyedem ampinfo so wo ho na ebi mkro omo ni hu ade so masa mfie mienu o de cheyen kwa na o se mu ntram mfie mienu na obi abeya ahoboa ne yetu efi so o ma ye hwe and no do niama kra epie fie akwa 5 million 10 million baby akọ so kire ska betua nti yesra na yesra no ye ne mpre ye ne nya hwe o ye papa ba akopẹ sabi oba ye nyina ye gi na wa tu ye nya ne basa na so onu ye ya basa sa na ebe ma ye nso ye basa efi so de o ye no efra ne kofie kowu Fio kowu nti ye sra no ye pa na cho o de o ma ye mfie mienu pe o ma ye mfie mienu a asida ya ne dia ye mfa ye emre ne so a ye ankasa ye bekọ ye ma ne bepam ye we asra na ye sra no ye ne mpre ma no ato.
Thank you so much, Madam Wasipi. So, a resident making a very passionate appeal to the government not to demolish the place. So, from here, we are heading towards the park, at K13 Park, to see how the crowd is forming over there and see how they are interacting with the police at all. So, for this is the first part of the come back to you in the studio shortly. So this is what we have for you so far from the Mambobi in the Senya electoral area in the Yaosu West municipality here in the Greater Accra region, where there's a planned demolition exercise which is going to take place and it's ending on the 28th of August. After 28th August, they are supposed to all move from here.
It's interesting that you're giving us this report, Jay. I would have loved to also hear from the authorities who are sanctioning this move, because definitely it's not the president that the lady is appealing to. It has to be somebody on the ground and to give reasons and well, we will come back to you if we can for this. But I want your comment on this. I'll start with you, Sheikh. So what's your comment on this? Is Mambobi demolition?
Like you said, the one that I want to listen to now is who is the MCE of the place, the MPs of the place. Are they aware that this thing is happening? They are, expulsion from the place for whatever reason, is it a well-planned something? These are people, one said he has lived there for 45 years. 45 years. Since when did they realize that they need to remove these people from there? And what is the timeline that they have given to them for them to adequately, prepare and leave the place? These are people who, even if they don't own the place, they settle there and they have been left there and they have been charged. The local authorities, they are paying money and they are taking it. So that payment they give them a certain sense of entitlement, that a certain approval has been given to they are living in the place. Once they are taking money from them, it justifies their stay there. So if you want to remove them today, they are human beings. I insist that a well-planned approach to this needs to be put in place, taking into consideration their human right and the humanness, the human condition that is like this thing. So if the authorities are listening to us this morning, can you explain what is the reason for their removal?
All right.
Even if it's a good reason.
We need to know.
We need to know
Also,
what is the plan that will ensure that we'll be able to relocate them without suffering any human difficulties.
Take us home, Reverend.
A lot of things were detested after the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah. The entire plan of Accra, and maybe the Ghana community, was thrown into disarray. I chanced on the paper many years ago that the entire enclave of Mamobi and Nima, they were supposed to have been relocated to Medina. It was a Muslim community, and so even the name Medina itself was supposed to give them that sereneness of religious acceptance. And so after he's overthrown, a lot of things turned. And so who are living there, like the gentleman rightly said, he's been living there for 45 years.
Yes.
No sense of belongingness, no sense of entitlement, but has lived there. And so after people have lived there for a very long time, implementation becomes a problem. I know Honorable Henry Quartey is trying to sensitize the community, but this is the challenges we'll be having. There are a lot of people who today, if you relocate them, there's nowhere they are going to. And so we need to plan it very well. We need to get to the board, sit down with people, and make sure that there's a consensus as to how we handle this matter. Otherwise, the inhuman part will also be played on us, and we need to be very mindful.
And it can be explosive.
It can be explosive. Let's keep it down.
We need a piece of our country
to enjoy it.
And then our security.
That's it.
So that we don't allow terrorists to take advantage of these things, or they are looking for opportunity. Let's handle this carefully so that we can ward off any attempt by any evil-minded person to take advantage.
See something. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete is president and founder of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, and Sheikh Arimiya Shaibu, spokesperson for the National Chief Imam. If you're writing your exams and you had FFFF, it means, Charlie, free flight from France. You failed. Well, we've got a couple of Fs coming up here. So we've got conversations on fair trade, foreign exchange, festivals, and free music. Stay with us. This is GTV.